Disney released Big Hero 6 back in 2014, and ever since, it's been very popular. Enough so to get its own cartoon and even an appearance in Kingdom Hearts. And more recently, a short 6-episode show focused on Baymax and his adventures, quite simply called Baymax.
Scan complete. You have sprained your ankle.
And we decided to give it a watch and take a look at these characters from this slice of life show. I'm Kyle with Wicked Binge, and this is Baymax Characters Good to Most Good. Also, spoilers for Baymax. Even though there's not much content to go over, it's still important to point this out. So you may want to watch the show on Disney Plus first. With our spoiler warning out of the way, today we're going to start with our least good character and work our way up to the most good. We have to say that the worst character on the list is Mobita. This isn't a huge dig at him, it's just that someone has to be. He's the main character of the self-titled Episode 4 and later appears in Episode 6 as part of Little Hero 6. Mobita is the owner of the Just Fish Soup food truck and apparently a frequent buyer at the farmer's market. That said, it's found out that he is actually allergic to fish when Baymax tries to help him. Now, this is the reason why he ranks at the very bottom, because he absolutely hates the idea of Baymax helping him, and he tries to run away. This causes a lot of chaos as he drives around San Francisco like a crazy person and nearly causes a lot of destruction just to get away from Baymax. Sure, he redeems himself by the end of the episode, but it doesn't change what happened, and therefore he sadly has to rank at the bottom of our list. Next up we have everyone's favorite cat, Mochi. Mochi mostly appears during the second episode of the show, and returns from Big Hero 6. Mochi mostly lazes around during the episode, although Cass utilizes him to spy on Baymax as he works in the cafe.
Oh boy, this is a disaster.
Mochi does try to destroy the camera, but beyond that doesn't do all too much. He's mostly a nuisance, and that's about it. But even Mochi's nuisance status isn't that big of a deal, as that's just what cats tend to do. The next character on our list is Ali. Ali only appears in episode 3 as Sophia's close friend, and honestly doesn't get to do much. Ali does try to help Sophia when she locks herself in the bathroom, and tries to convince her to come to the talent show, showing they are quite good friends. But Ali has to fall here because that's really all they do in the episode. If Ali had more screen time or was mentioned again after their appearance, they may have gotten a higher ranking. Next on our list is Sophia, the main character and patient from episode 3. Sophia is a middle school girl who gets help from Baymax regarding her first period. She is initially against his help and the fact that she got one in the first place because she still wants to be a kid. She's also shown to be a yo-yo expert, someone who really enjoys her place as a semi-popular kid and absolutely hates the idea of growing up. Sure, she locks herself in a bathroom and tries to stop Baymax from helping her, but like many kids, it's because she's obsessed with her popularity. But by the end of the episode, she's gotten that cleared up and helps save Baymax, which is definitely a good thing. Next up is the man who makes the best applesauce, Yukio. Yukio appears during episode 4, being one of the many people who works at the farmer's market, specifying that he works mostly with apples and applesauce. He allegedly makes the best applesauce in the farmer's market and seems to show at least some concern for Mobita, and by the end he accepts an invitation for a date. He, much like the others, is just kind of there for the most part, and doesn't have a whole lot of screen time, hence why we can't rank him anywhere else. Next up is Yachi. Yachi is a stray hungry cat that Baymax tries to help during the 5th episode of the show. Baymax tries to coax a headphone out of his stomach, but Yachi continually ends up poking through Baymax's body and causing him to lose air. The cat seems intensely smart, as he understands he is lonely and wants to have human companionship so much, he makes his own fake mouse toy. He may be intensely smart, but he doesn't end up helping Baymax after he powers down, even though it's implied he could. That said, he does get a chance to redeem himself during the show, during episode 6 where he ends up stopping the demolition company from destroying where Baymax was.
Hold everything! I love cats.
However, we can't rank him any higher than this because he is indeed a cat that cares very little. Moving on to another returning character, Aunt Cass. Cass was a character who appeared in Big Hero 6 and reoccurs in this series. Cass continues to run her cat cafe, and it does quite well, but she sprains her ankle and has to be healed. However, this is stopped rather quickly because she is obsessed with her job and her customers and shows a great connection to them.
I have customers waiting as we speak.
She even ends up giving Baymax an Employee of the Month plaque for his efforts. She's also part of Little Hero 6 that saves Baymax in Episode 6, closing her cafe to save him, showing that she'll do anything for that marshmallowy robot. That said, she does try to spy on Baymax and hurts herself more because of how much she cares for her customers. But it goes without saying that Cass is a really good person no matter how you slice it. Taking the Bronze Medal of Good is Hiro Yamada. Hiro is another character returning from Big Hero 6, being an inventor and college student who looks after Baymax in the post-credits scene of each episode. He cares very deeply about continuing his brother's life work and looks after Baymax heavily, immediately searching for him once he realizes that Baymax never came home. His intense smarts also allows him to create a variety of things to make life better, such as Cass's boot and the nanobots he uses to help save Baymax.
Hurry! I don't know how long I can hold this.
Hiro only ranks here because we're not including events from Big Hero 6, because as much as those events of saving the world matter, they're kind of irrelevant to the show. While Big Hero 6 is mentioned and we can infer these events happened, we wanted to keep the ranking for this video exclusive to this show. Taking the Silver Medal of Good is Kiko. Kiko is the main character of the first episode of the show, who also later appears in episode 6. Kiko is an old woman who is scared of water who Baymax tries to get to live life, especially after the death of her husband. Sure, initially she landed towards the very bottom of our list, because she did spend most of her episode trying to kill Baymax. However, by the end of episode 6, she was willing to sacrifice her own life for the life of Sophia and Baymax. And obviously, you're all well aware of how we feel about self-sacrifice. That said, we can't look past her killer instinct over a fear of water and a very helpful robot, which is why she only takes silver. And finally, taking the Gold Medal of Good is none other than Baymax. Baymax is the titular character, and also one of the most lovable characters in all of recent animation, especially Disney movies. Baymax is a personal healthcare companion, someone who tries to heal everyone around them.
I am Baymax, your personal healthcare companion.
He's made plenty of friends along the way, and even discounting what he does in Big Hero 6, he definitely deserves his ranking here. Sure, he's sort of a chaotic good, a Dungeons & Dragons term that goodness only comes about through the actions of an individual. Baymax will do just about anything to heal someone, whether that be leading them through multiple alleys to face their fear of water, or ride on top of their truck to give them a shot. Baymax is a good guy, no matter how you slice it, but sometimes his good can be a teensy tiny bit out of hand. But regardless of that fact, he still takes home the gold. With our morality spectrum complete, let's wrap things up with a few Sinner medals. Taking our Darwin medal is Mobita, mostly because instead of listening to the healthcare robot, he decided to drive like a maniac downtown. He's also going to take the Lust medal, mostly because he's the only character with a romantic subplot in the show, and it does cloud his judgment for the most part. Taking the Sloth medal is Mochi, who is a big lazy fat cat who sleeps for most of the day. Our Pride medal goes to Sophia, who is so caught up in her reputation she hates the idea she might be growing up. The Gluttony medal is going to Aunt Cass, simply because she is a very food-related character, and as such sort of falls into this role. And finally, our Wrath medal belongs to Kiko, who not only tried to kill Baymax, but is definitely a very wrathful little lady. But let us know in the comments section if you agree with our list, and tell us what we should cover next. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you can binge more of our Good to Evil videos. And most importantly, stay wicked.